His training camps were the stuff of legend. I mean, he would spar 100 rounds a week sometimes, which is just insane.
Canelo versus Crawford.
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock you.
Reacted to Terence Crawford's intense training for his potential fight with Canelo Alvarez. He praised Crawford's elite switch hitting skills and adaptability, saying they could help neutralize Canelo's raw power and experience. Despite the size gap, still Rogan voiced concern that Crawford must be big and strong enough to absorb Canelo's devastating shots.
Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's going to fight Canelo.
Oh, man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit.
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox.
Warning about the danger of being overpowered, Rogan didn't hold back. He's firmly rooting for Crawford.
Which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford is leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54 and now to 68.
And the Madrigal fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock you.
1,000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young. Uses strength and conditioning. There's very few fighters that just train using skill, train skills. Like George St. Pierre did that for a certain period of his career.
I wonder if there's anybody left in boxing who trains just using the gym skills. There were a lot of them when I was first involved in the sport who would never have touched a weight.
Right.
You know, they subscribed totally to the notion that that was negative.
Right. And the worst case, I mean, they definitely did calisthenics, but that was it. It was just body weight exercises, you know, which brings us to Crawford, which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Because how does Crawford compete with that size? And, you know, we have to recognize, okay, well, when Canelo fought Floyd, it was 152 pounds, right? So he had dropped down, which was a struggle for him, which is why Floyd was so brilliant in getting him to go down to 150. The elite boxers, to a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined. Yeah. And they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They're throwing so much money at boxing. And the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3-weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
In this mega fight, on a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience with Jim Lampley, when asked who he favors, Rogan immediately replied, Crawford, adding, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down. He admires Crawford's slick footwork, adaptability, and strategic mind, even while acknowledging the massive size and power Canelo brings. Rogan also cautioned Crawford to approach the fight carefully, stressing that physical disadvantages can't be ignored. Still, he said he'll definitely be watching, calling it probably the biggest fight in boxing, in typical Rogan fashion.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good, really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire, it's in his mind, it's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class, can he carry it? You know, but those intangibles, I believe that he has.
Practicing it, you know, that was something that when I had the cast on, I was like, man, I love the gym so much. I'm like, man, I'm not leaving the gym. Like, I'm going practice with this left. And that's when I got the left stronger, because at first, when I go southpaw, it was only, you know, my right. Then when my hand got messed up, I started working on the left, and it started getting stronger and stronger. And I started getting more accurate, because at first, just throw it just to be throwing it. And then, you know, it just got to a point where my left was actually weight.
Crawford coming in the ring, and Crawford doing everything he can to match Canelo's power, possibly size, and to, at a minimum, try to just maintain what speed he already possesses. Because, you know, when you go up in weight, sometimes you compromise speed. So we know Crawford and his team are doing everything they can to, at a minimum, maintain his speed. But the question came up, okay, since Crawford is looking to come in the ring fast, powerful, we know he's already brilliant. Shit, what if Canelo comes in lighter? I'm like, lighter? Like, yeah, what happens if Canelo says, you know what, I'm not gonna try to come and just outweigh him by 20 pounds on fight night, because I realize I'm in there with somebody who's very agile and who's probably gonna be faster than me. And although I have timing, he has timing too. So I can't afford to be 2 or 3 steps behind Terence Crawford in my
He even mixed in a conversation about cartel mule runners while breaking down the matchup. On the same podcast, Crawford reflected on his 2023 win over Errol Spence Jr., explaining how preparation was the key. Everything you see on fight night, we drilled it time and time again, he told Rogan, crediting his flawless execution to constant repetition and training. As for Canelo's size, Crawford shrugged it off. He might be bigger than me, but big don't mean stronger.
He will do going against somebody like a Canelo at 168?
I think Bud, man, one thing I love about Bud, he willing to challenge himself. And when you're willing to challenge yourself, you can surprise yourself. But that's a hell of a feeling. I think, to be honest, you don't want to sit there and brawl with Canelo, but at some point you're gonna have to fight him. You know what I'm saying? You can't let Canelo press you. You know what I'm saying? Because he great at that, and he a bully. He is a bully. But Bud, I believe, got bully tendencies too. You know what I'm saying? And he could be crafty. But I think if he approached it the way he approached Spence, then we get a way better fight than people think. Now, what I saw when he approached Spence was, I can't make a mistake. I can't let him do too much. I can't let him be a bully. I think if he go at Canelo the same way, then we get a great fight on our hands. I'm sorry. I'm not saying he gonna be that dominant.
You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will, and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against.
Watch the fight, and you spoke about Crawford. How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
is that good?
How to learn boxing. You know,
really.
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound, number one.
Yeah, probably he is now, because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. And
it's crazy.
He's a great fighter, yeah. To be honest, I didn't see, I think, Crawford in real life. I don't know how big he is. But the size, you know, when I came to boxing gym and my coach told me that one of the rules, it's like respect the weight classes, you know. You should respect weight classes. But he has a very good skill. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Yes, but if he beats Canelo, he'll be like my #1 fighter of all time.
You don't think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. Look, hear me out. I respect Crawford and everything that he's doing, but he just moved up from 147, so I'm just gonna treat him as a 147 pounder. He's jumping up 3 weight classes to fight someone who was like the #1 fighter in all of boxing. You know, the jump would be hard, even if it was just like some top 10.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Bud
would you say he's a very smart fighter?
Yes.
Very calculated,
Yes.
right? Don't you think that maybe he sees something that most people aren't seeing?
I think he does, but the thing is he gonna be able to even to capitalize on it? Because he's a smaller fighter, and look, I think people are thinking at the aspect of, can Crawford do it? Yes, I think he can do it, but can Canelo do it? And I think he has a bigger chance of doing it than Crawford does.
Favors him.
Now, Canelo, he has obviously the size advantage, the strength advantage, intellect. I think Crawford edges him out in IQ. I just think the weight difference is going to be the deciding factor here. I mean, like, when I seen Canelo's check hook against Berlanga, that shit was like this. You know, and Canelo's not slow either. Like, this shit was, I didn't see that coming at all. He just dropped him, and I was just like, damn, he still got it. I just think that Crawford just bit off a little more than he can chew, but if he can chew it and he beats him, which I think he can. I'm not saying he can't. I'm not saying he has 0% chance. I'm just thinking Canelo wins. But if he does, he will be my #1 fighter of all time.
Wow, I always knew that you had a lot of...
Boxing trainer Teddy Atlas sees Canelo versus Crawford as a classic size versus speed battle. Canelo has the power and the advantage of fighting at his natural weight, but Crawford may hold the edge in agility and ring IQ, comparing it to Manny Pacquiao's upset over Oscar De La Hoya. Atlas stressed that Crawford's instincts, timing, and elusive style could be the difference. Despite Canelo's proven dominance at higher weights, Atlas believes Crawford is very special with the versatility and intangible skills to win. Crawford's training camp has revealed a striking body transformation. Normally fighting at 154 pounds, he has bulked up dramatically, walking around at 185 pounds at one point, with earlier footage showing him near cruiserweight size. Even with the added muscle, he remains lean and defined, proof of disciplined conditioning. Not everyone is convinced this is a good thing. Strength coach Rob Esther warned that jumping from 154 straight to 168 and beyond could hurt Crawford's speed and stamina, especially against someone with Canelo's power. So, the question stands, will Terence Crawford's intense training and size gain give him the edge against Canelo Alvarez? Or will the size and power gap prove too much?